Hey all, how you doing today? CVMG coming back at you with a little bit more Street Fighter Duel. Now there's been a lot of tier lists going out, but there seems to be a popular opinion that Troll Gaming has a pretty good one, and I'm pretty excited to see what he has to say, so let's just go ahead and get into the video.
Hey guys, welcome back on my YouTube channel. It's your boy Troll, and today's video, a very special video
Okay, just to be clear, this is my first intro into this guy. I've heard of him, he's on my vidIQ, but I've never actually seen any of his videos. That little dance was just so heartwarming. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Is an updated tier list. Yes, I have been playing this game every day.
Yeah. See, he's level 39. You can tell how far these YouTubers actually are if you could see their account levels. Like if a video just shot out like in the first few days of the game, we were all like level 10 or something. We had no idea what we were talking about at that point. Right now, he's level 40. So I assume that he's actually going to have some legitimate insight into these characters.
Every minute since it came out. I pushed to 1340 right now where I'm currently blocked.
Nice.
And I think I have a good knowledge of what units are broken, what units are useless, what units you should build or you shouldn't build, etc, etc. So I already did a tier list basically when the game came out.
So this is his own tier list. He's been working on his own thing. It's pretty easy to just go on other people's tier lists and try and sort like which are the best characters based on who is rating everybody. But this is just him, his experience. All of the information we're about to be getting is first-hand experience from Troll Gaming. So let's just see what he has endured so far.
Who should you reroll for? What would be the best unit to start with?
And he did say useless. I noticed he said some of these characters are useless. And I've looked through all the kits. Like, I'm not as far as he is, obviously. I just am not. But I have also poured through the kits myself. And I never really pinned anybody as completely useless, so I'm pretty curious to see who he thinks.
And I think it's worth now to updating the tier list. First of all, because basically a hero that might be good early might be bad at end game. A hero that might be very good early might be combat end game. And also at the end of the day, it is based on my opinion. This tier list is not science. If you disagree...
Okay. I know I'm pausing a lot in the very beginning right here, but he's saying so many important things. He's saying this is just his opinion, bro. Don't go attacking him over he put someone that you like in a low tier. It's not that serious. It's just another idle game, just another mobile game. You do not have to get upset about it.
It might be true. Maybe the way you build some units work better in that way, and maybe I might be wrong. However, this is my opinion. That's what I think is the best, not worst, etc. So again, it's an open discussion. You can just let me know in the comments what do you think.
Okay, and we'll...
But like I was saying...
We'll just put in our input at the very end.
I pushed the campaign till 30-40 right now. In terms of explore and in the tower, I am at 173.
Pretty far.
Possibly I could push to 180 if I just play around the combos and the spells. Where are we else? Global operation. We are...
Pause. Alright.
Almost done. We are almost done. And
okay,
then
so
soon to unlock the...
He's just kind of showing his accomplishments right now. I totally believe him. So let's skip to where he starts placing people.
Jen, obviously S tier. I just love him. Why? Because he can just one-shot everything. Then we're gonna have Rose.
That was a very
I would
fast
say S
review.
As well. And then we're gonna have Jury. Personally, Jury, I put it an A. Since she's so hard to get, and since it's so hard to awaken her, in terms of what...
So, Jury compared to the other two is actually easier to awaken because you could get her in the shop. Like, there's a refreshable purchase where you could get her. I'm not sure if it cycles to, like, other legendaries through other months or whatever, but I've definitely seen her in the shop. And these 3 reviews have flown by, but these are like the rare units that nobody has built, so I don't really blame them for just skimming through those.
She gives you, in terms of the other characters that we already have, we're gonna call them Dark and Light. She's just below them 100%. And Bison is number 1.
That's right.
Will be number 2, and he's number 3.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you why I think Bison is number 1. He is so tanky. He's the tankiest character I've ever seen in any game. If you go to kill him, he says, wait a minute, no! And he stays alive and gets all of his health back and just starts blasting them again. And then he dies again. He's like, nope, not this time either. It can happen more than once. It's so ridiculous. He is definitely an S tier. That is not an exaggeration.
She's A tier. Okay. Then we go to... Yeah, by the way, for me, Bison is the strongest character in the game. If you have another specific hero, you know what? I will explain it with another video. But yeah, Bison for me is the strongest right now.
Just listen to him. He's right.
Then we're gonna go to Chun. I think she's A tier.
Chun-Li?
Simply because...
Okay. Let's hear what he has to say first.
She's more AoE focused, and so far in the game, at least at the stage where I am, single target nukers are way better than AoE nukers.
All right, so where he is, he's about at the mid game. I know this says end game, but he's only pushing like chapter 18. He's not that far. He's pretty much breaking the early game into the mid game. This is where tanks are going to start to shine a little bit, and because tanks are doing better, now ignore defense will be doing better. So characters like Guile, characters with huge multipliers like Chun-Li are going to be very helpful. But the reason most people like Chun-Li, at least from what I've heard, is she gives you like turn priority. You get to always go turn 1 with her, and that's very important for building up your skills. So I might place her in the S tier.
And her damage in case of single target is not that great. I would not. I mean,
fair.
She will become eventually very, very good late in the game when you have her exclusive, because she will buff speed your whole team. So overall, she's good.
Yeah.
Then we go to our Guile, our normal Guile. I would say
Guile,
because he's very hard. I mean, if you are running DPS only team, he won't give you enough to sustain.
Okay, now this is where his opinion should be turning around about Guile, because Guile in the early game is going to be terrible. He can't ignore that much defense. The thing is, he does a defense break and he ignores defense, which is insane, right? That is a ridiculous combination. So that entire defense stat that the enemy has, he might as well just set it to 0 after he's gotten his combos off. But you need to have them pretty built in order to get that far. So I don't know, this is a little bit of a suspicious placement.
Give you enough of damage. And mostly I always use him for combo 1 because I didn't want to have a tank, nor I had a tank. So if you maybe already have a tank, like overall he's a very good combo 1, but I think just end game he's lacking a lot of damage.
And you got to remember too, not everything is about the campaign here. Like, we also have guild bosses and stuff. There's going to be damage checks where the entire goal is to just deal as much damage as possible, and he's going to be literally perfect for that. If you had a tier list, like a separate tier list where you need people to deal as much damage as possible at the end game, that's where you're going to see Guile at the S tier and Bison down like at the lowest tier. This stuff is completely nuanced. There's no one correct answer.
Personally, that's how I feel. Then we're gonna have Abel. In terms of tank, I will put him in B.
Shields?
He's more as a support rather than tank. He can put a shield, but again, the shield really, it's like 5% of your HP, so it doesn't do a lot.
That's
so
fair.
Overall, as a tank, I will put him in B. Kami in terms...
Shield is shield, though. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he is talking about single target in the mid game, but also there is that area of effect. Everybody has Chun-Li. Everybody's going to be dealing area of effect. So any area of effect shielding or any area of effect healing you get is actually going to be very helpful.
In terms of damage, I'll put her in S. Definitely, I just love her. The damage she does, she can just one-shot everything. She's super fast. She can
I believe it. I don't have her.
So... great. And also,
I can't comment. I don't have her.
Go into the backline with her passive. Well, like if you know how to position her right, she's just huge.
Okay.
Then we have a Guy. Personally, for me, it's C.
Guy? Wait a minute. Isn't he like a low tier? Isn't he one of the low tiers? Correct me if I'm wrong. He's in the same tiers as like Ryu and stuff, isn't he? Or is that a different guy? I don't know.
Every time I went against him, nothing special. His skill also, I don't feel like it's anything special.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't like him. Me personally, I just don't think he's worth it. Same for him and for him. Now those two together are kind of very, like those three together, I would even say are very strong because they are super fast. Now the only problem is they are all in blue, and I think Kami is better, and also there is better for me in terms.
Are they? I think like all of these characters so far are in blue, isn't it? Wind element or whatever. Chun-Li, Guile, Abel, what's his name? The blue kimono guy. Those are all blue. Maybe that's how they're sorted by element
Of damage, but
yeah, it looks like
in
it.
the universe that we already have.
I see all the electric guys and all the fire guys. So these are sorted by element.
All the characters, all the SSS plus whatever.
He's right. These are not good blue picks.
Together with Kami, it's like a super speed team that you're gonna basically one-shot everything before they even move, because there is speed in this game that will basically help you to get more mana to launch your ultimate, but also how fast they do the attack. So right now, especially early game, I just don't think they will give you that much.
I think he's correct.
Yeah. Then we go to Beast Zangief. For me, that's the best tank in the game.
Okay. Why?
Before Bison, even though Bison is not a tank type monster,
he definitely is.
I just love the Beast simply because
he's
he
so
can
tanky.
Stun. And yeah, like he can stun, I think, like all the enemies. There's obviously a specific chance to how much you're gonna stun.
No, but the thing is, if you pair a stunner with other stunners, then you just have stun locking. And stun locking is always one of the best strategies in PvP 100%. That is always good.
But just the simple fact that he can stun is huge in this game, guys. Stunning someone sometimes potentially can basically interrupt the combo.
Exactly.
So it's huge. Personally, I love this guy.
So I'm just going to go ahead and pause. We're about at the halfway mark. I could let it play out another minute and we could just get to the halfway mark and I'll give a so far review.
To Blanca. And I skipped someone. Oh yeah, I skipped T-Hawk. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Sorry, guys. So for me, T-Hawk, same as him. It's just not enough. Not enough as a tank. It's just not enough. Then we're gonna, then we go to
Don't worry about your pronunciation. If you want to say tonk, say tonk. All of the people all across the world have different dialects, and you just see that in the comments. People being like, oh, you mispronounced it? It does not matter. I can't think of something that matters less. Like,
for me, is also A tier. His electricity, basically, he's such a control unit. Yeah, overall, I just love this unit. Now, he's a balanced unit, so he's not really an assassin. He's not really a tank. He's not really like a support. He's more a support. He's a support type of control DPS. And very late game, once you have the damage, the skill, once he touches your whole team at the same time, there is no way you can recover from that. So.
Okay, so now he's talking about AoE strats. AoE strats do fall in high tier categories of gameplay and strategy. But so we're halfway done with the video. He does definitely seem to know what he's talking about in terms of gacha games. He appreciates the stuns. He knows about high damage multipliers, things like that. But so far, I'm just getting the vibe that he has maybe, 6 people built. And he goes into extreme detail on the 6 people that he's actually using, which I totally understand. You should do that because he has more information on those characters. Therefore, he can impart more information to us. But he is also skimming over a lot of characters. Sometimes he just like... In the beginning, he was just like, oh, yeah, this character's S tier. Yep, this one's S tier. And I got no information on those characters, bro. I've never seen them in combat. I've never seen any gameplay. So I just have to take his word for it. But all in all, it's been a very good tier list so far. And I think it is probably pretty accurate.
Honestly, I like him very much. Then we're going to go to Honda. I think Honda is...
super tank.
After the Beast, the second best tank, simply because he gets immunity, which is basically desperation.
Okay. Is he going to move on?
Whenever he goes less than 20 or 30% HP. So obviously Bison is still way better because he's like literally immune to any damage once you're about to kill him until there are allies. But Honda is something similar that it's very hard to one-shot him just because of that buff, so I really, really like it.
Okay, also Honda does something else. he absorbs damage that your other teammates take. He's one of those damage share units. So if you have a squishy guy on the back of your team like a Chun-Li that maybe is about to get sniped by a Cammy, by having him on your team, he's going to absorb some of that damage, and that is very, very good. Super good.
Then we're gonna have...
I would put him higher, I think.
Zangief, same, never had an issue with him. He's kind of also a damage control, moving the characters in the team, but overall, he doesn't give a lot. Poison, also very, very, very good.
A lot of good things. I've heard a lot of good things about Poison.
Xionglang, what's her name, I think?
Chun-Li. Chun-Li.
Right?
Chun-Li. So let me just go ahead and explain. So many Street Fighter IP fans are mad at us because we do not know the pronunciation of all these characters. Let me tell you something. Anyone that's in the mobile gaming scene doesn't actually care. We've played so many different games. The lifespan of these idle games is like 2 months, bro. We have gone through hundreds of character names that we cannot pronounce. And just because it's a Street Fighter game doesn't mean that we're going to care anymore. Play. Oh no! Oh, okay, he's just frozen. I thought that my computer broke.
Yeah, obviously she will be here. Right.
He was thinking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's fine-tuning it, man. He wants it to be as accurate as he can possibly get. I love that.
We'll go to Elena. Now, Elena...
Healer. Put her high.
100% supports slash...
Put her higher.
The
Please.
problem is right now in
Dude!
the game, especially early game,
Oh.
I just feel...
That's going to have to be the first L from me. There's so much that healing is important for. There's like so many situations where healing vastly outweighs needing to deal damage. And she is the lowest on the list right now. I really hope he tunes that a little bit and slides her higher up because he is below Guy. He's below everyone. Whatever. It's not enough. She needs to be much, much higher.
Like it's not enough. Now she's a very good combo one because that's the heal. But the problem is, unless you have like a very tanky team, you're still gonna get one shot eventually, and like the heal won't give you enough. For example, if I am like
So everybody with this Chun-Li fad is probably getting one shot. My team, I'm not sure if I could just go ahead and put a screenshot of my team up right here. This is my team, so I'm not getting one shot by anything. And having her is definitely a vast improvement.
Now at stage 1340, if anyone launches their ultimate on any person on my backline, he just one-shots them. So even if I launch the combo, there will be nothing to heal because we are gonna be already dead. However, she also buffs, and I think the defense up eventually very late in the game
buffs
will be very good once you have a lot of HP. Because, you know, the more you go into the late game, the less chances you're going to have. You're going to one-shot someone, right? Basically, early, if you have a SSS hero and you go against a red one, well, obviously you're going to one-shot him. But once everyone starts to have BSSS, etc., the same level, that's where I'm going to see her very good. However, right now... I never had that issue with her, but she's still way better. You know what? Let's put her in B minus. Yeah.
I'm so glad he moved her up because she is going to start popping off later in the game.
Go with Makoto, and if I'm not mistaken, where is it? Yeah, so Makoto is even better. I would put her...
Nice.
I would put her, yeah, it's the same. She can also stun on her combo.
Stunning, yep. All the electric guys are the whatever element, bro. The lightning bolt element. Looks like they're in the 8s here. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them are already in the 8s here. And then, of course, that healer should be in the 8s here, too.
Again, having the possibility to stun and also she also kind of like puts all the enemies together so far from what I saw. So for me, she's very, very good as a tank. Like those are the best tanks for me so far. Mad Ryu,
yes, in the S. Huge damage.
Yeah, Mad Ryu is here 100%.
He is the Bison of damage. If Bison is the tank of tanks, then Mad Ryu is the damage of damage. His multiplier is nearly 1,000. It's ridiculous. It's so much damage.
It's just Mad Ryu, the damage. I think it was 10, chapter 1040, 1140, 940. At one point, you're gonna have boss. You're gonna go against 2 Ryus. Just one of your character dies. You're gonna get exploded by them. Okay. The simple fact that he can basically retrigger his skills every time he kills someone is completely.
So he's saying there's going to be a wall in that campaign if you haven't quite gotten to where he's at yet. I think he's at like chapter 18 or something he said, but there's definitely going to be a wall there, and it's going to be those mad Ryu.
Then we're going to have combat Gile.
I think he's actually lower than regular Guile.
I really
don't at me about it, but the ignore defense.
You're going against.
Let me just, I'm sorry I keep talking over him. It's ADD, but the Guile ignore defense thing is just too good. You can't place him higher than Guile.
Him, and he has 20, 30 more levels than you. He will do damage, but if we look at all the characters here, I just think there is way better than him.
Yeah.
And overall...
he's put no one in the to test
he's
section.
Still better than them. Okay, I'm gonna put him. Yeah, those 2 Gills together are here. Like they are
no
bad.
Why?
He's just way better than them. That's it.
That's true, but I wouldn't put them together.
Then we're gonna go into Dudley. Dudley, I gotta put him here. It's basically a tank, but it's like very damage.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say these blue and yellow elements are the ones that I've been keeping the most track of. Those are the ones that I refresh my memory on their kits like occasionally. The fire dudes, I just don't care. I don't like their art. I don't like them. I don't like their skills. I haven't really kept up with them.
All he does is damage, and honestly, you don't like. He's very slow. So before he even does that damage, I just think that all the other tanks are way better. He goes here. His damage is completely stupid. Like his damage is very stupid. And if you have a proper fire team,
right,
you're just gonna one-shot everything.
Damage over time. That's what damage over time is like, right? If you have a fire burn, like if you have a burn ailment or whatever that does damage over time, it's always good just to have a bunch of burn units on your team, because then even if you like 3 out of the 4 of your people die, if you have a super tank that stays alive, he's just sitting there. Like imagine you have Bison in the front and then a bunch of burns on their enemy team. Your team dies, but Bison's just like, nah, you're just gonna tick away slowly. You're gonna be burned away slowly.
Hugo, never ever build him. I would even sacrifice him.
He's so funny.
To be honest. And I think I did. Again, don't do it because they might patch him, nerf him, whatever. But
okay, so trust him. He says that he built it and it sucks. I've done that so many times in games where I see something that looks amazing. Shapatite in Infinite Magic Raid, for example. I was like, 2 area of effect attacks? That has to be amazing. One of the worst characters in the game by far, by a wide margin. So I would just go ahead and take his word for it.
So far, Hugo is the worst character in the game for me.
Dang.
Viper. I really like Viper, but where am I gonna put her? I think I'm gonna put her here. Then we're gonna have Adon. He will be here. Basically, Adon, I had him once as a boss, and he can one-shot. I don't know what he does exactly, but every time he was able to.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I don't like that he just put someone in the B tier and then instantly said he doesn't know what they do. That's kind of a red flag, but anyways.
Cast a spell. He literally just obliterated and one-shotted one of my enemies. So the damage is there. Again, there's just better, and I don't know, I just don't feel about it. Then we're gonna have Decapre. Just the lowest HP. Yeah, Decapre is the problem I already said.
Good pronunciation.
Yeah, Decapre, the problem is she's gonna go in C tier.
Okay.
Why is she gonna be in C tier?
Why?
Basically, all of her attacks, you're gonna focus the enemy with the lowest HP percentage or with the lowest HP.
Okay. Why is that bad?
She's gonna focus the lowest HP percentage. And most of the time, it's gonna be either the tank or someone in the backline. So she's very situational. Like if you have a Vision in front, and obviously you cannot kill him and you need to focus the backline, she will be S tier, right? However, overall, since you're gonna always go for the lowest percentage, she needs to be super strong in order to be able to do a lot of damage and execute, because I think she has something like if you go below 20% you're gonna execute the target you're attacking. So she can be S tier if you have her.
So he's trying to say it's situational. Every battle is nuance. She's able to execute enemies below 20%. Now, ironically, the situation that he brought up, he said, imagine if you're fighting a bison and you can't really kill him because he goes immune. That's true, but now imagine you're fighting a Honda and he's one of those that's like, doesn't do it multiple times. You could just execute him right off the bat. Execution is usually pretty good. Targeting the enemy with the lowest HP is always good. The only time I could actually... Okay, let me just rephrase what I just said, because this is the one game, the only game I can think of where attacking a low HP target might be bad if your enemy's bison. That's literally the only thing I could think about. The only situation I could justify that. But that's usually not a bad thing. But like he said, tier lists are nuanced. Everything's different for a different situation. All of these characters seem to be in ratings and not in the 2 test section. So if we're being real, game's been out, what, like 2 weeks? We're just trying to learn here, okay?
Build, and she's strong and whatever. However, if you don't manage to execute, for me, she's gonna be better. Yeah, let's say better, because again, there will be a few scenarios where you actually want to go for the backline. Fei Long for me is the same as Hugo, but a bit stronger, but I would never recommend to build him.
Okay, why?
DJ. He can stun, that's the problem. He can stun, but he's way worse one than the other tanks, so we'll put him in B.
Okay.
Then we have Dudley, but normal, because there are 2 versions of Dudley.
Oh?
Right?
Are there?
Or I'm smoking.
Yeah, I already saw the other one, didn't I?
Yeah, whatever. Then we have Dudley, and he is also very good because he can stun with his one, and I'm gonna put him in here. Then we're gonna have Mayor Cody somewhere here. I honestly built him. I regret it very much.
Okay. Fair. I believe him whenever he says things like that.
Next, we're gonna have the costumes.
All right.
So him, first of all, he needs to be tested. I never saw him, and we only can get him once we finish the login rewards or something.
We have it to test.
Wait.
Finally.
Where is it? We're gonna be able to get
Should put a few people in there.
No, from total signups. Exactly. From total signups. And which day?
Where's his VIP? Try and find his VIP.
Like, when do you obtain him to get a total sign-in? Is it after?
So no one has him yet or something? He's a sign-in?
I think it's after a month we get him, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I never saw him. I can't tell you. On
we'll
paper,
see.
I would say he's broken, but we will have to see.
Yep.
And then we have her.
Put her higher, bro. Don't do it.
What's her name?
Don't do it.
But she's also very, very strong.
Yeah.
Her here.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can only buy her for $50. That's the only way to
unlock
her.
I had to.
Okay, guys, that's overall my updated tier list.
Okay, so yeah, she just heals your team so much. This is his tier list. All in all, not bad. I love how much information he actually gave us. He provided a lot of information in areas he could. The only sort of criticism, I guess, that I have is that whenever he pulled up to a character and he was like, I haven't really seen this character much, he still ranked them. And that to test section could definitely be buffed up a little bit more, and I would have a lot more faith in the placements. Because if right now Bison is S tier, and then who's another tank? Honda is down in the A, what about all these tanks in the middle that don't even really need to be there because he didn't really test them? Other than that, really good list, really good video. We have a lot of good information here. Who would I move? I would definitely have Chun-Li a little bit higher, Guile a little bit higher, and yeah, maybe Zangief, the healers, all healers need to be a little bit higher. But thank you so much, Troll Gaming, for this video. It was really good. I really appreciate it. If you want to check out his channel, I have a link in the description.